The following program is furnished by Central Valley Sports Report.
Welcome to a brand new season of the CVSR Show. I'm your host, Camille Moultrie. We have a great show coming up for you, so don't go anywhere and stick around. We've got a lot of new and exciting things happening here on the CVSR Show. For starters, you can catch us every Sunday on KAIL TV at 9:30 a.m. So make sure you check your local listings for the channel. Expect a lot more surprises and special guests. And speaking of special guests, I'm here with starting quarterback Caleb Paulson from Emmanuel High School. Hi, Caleb.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. All right. So 3-0 this season. Though the last two games have been nail-biters. Can you tell us a little bit about those games?
Just been pretty close. The defense has been on lockdown, offense been putting up some points, and hopefully we keep the winning streak going. So
Good. And so as the starting quarterback, that's a lot of pressure. How do you handle that? How do you get out there and stay cool under pressure and lead them as you go?
It's all about teamwork, and we also say brotherhood. We gotta all trust each other and rely on each other to make the plays.
Right.
Gotta have the O-line block, the wide receivers catch the ball, and me make the throws. So it's all about teamwork, and that's what we've been trusting in this season. So.
Good. It seems like that philosophy has been working. Going 3-0. Good. So I hear you're a stud in the classroom, right? So what are your grades like?
They're pretty good. I'm trying to keep them up, so options for colleges and other opportunities will open themselves up. So, just trying to keep them up.
All right. And your favorite subject?
AP History.
AP History.
Yeah, that would probably be my favorite.
All right. Okay, so now, you have a lot of guys looking up to you on a daily basis. They're looking at you as the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
What advice or what's your main thing that you stick to knowing that these guys are looking at you every day? How would you portray that, you're the person to look up to? What do you stand by?
Just setting a good example by actions. I believe that some people have a voice by setting an example, and other people lead by example. So I believe that my strength would be leading by example. So and we also have a lot of leaders on our team, which makes us pretty good.
So we appreciate you stopping by the CVSR show.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. Can you do one favor for me before you go?
Yeah.
Can you take us to commercial?
Yeah. Don't go anywhere. We got volleyball up next.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Hey, Banks. Have a seat and let me make you uncomfortable. Up those grades, son, or the only position you'll be playing in college is sitting on me. You're still awake? Have a seat on old Mr. Bench. At least your buns will fall asleep.
Is this the one about the high school hotshot who gets benched in college?
Hey, man, T, move down.
It's a tearjerker!
Hey, and welcome back. We're now joined in talking volleyball with San Joaquin Memorial head coach Stacy Abney and senior Kylie Akesian. Hey, Kylie.
Hi.
Hey, so thank you guys for joining me.
No worries.
We're volleyball season's kind of just underway, right? We wouldn't call it really halfway yet. And you guys are off to a tear. I'll start with you, Stacy. Talk to me about this season. Tell me what.
We started off really strong. We're 9-2. We haven't started our conference playing yet, but we've been to a tournament. We went 6-2 at that tournament. We played Atwater High School and Central. Those were our losses. But they're, you know, a higher division than us, so we played really, really well against them. We've also played Stanger and Madera South, and we beat those two teams, and they're also in our conference. So for the future, we're kind of looking really good this year.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So, so this is your first year as head coach here
right.
at Memorial.
That's right.
Coming into the season, what was your expectations? This where you thought you guys were going to be?
I was the assistant coach last year, so I know all of their players. I know all of their ability. So I just, yeah, I have high expectations for all of the girls, and they're definitely fulfilling those expectations and doing really well.
Awesome. So Kylie, you're a senior this year.
Yeah.
You started last year. You're starting this year. Tell me a little bit about kind of the differences between this year, last year with you as a senior, what your expectations are.
Well, this year I'm more of a leader, and I'm able to more so like control people and like allow them, and they don't get offended when I help them and things like that. Last year I wasn't a senior, so people got intimidated if per se you try to help them. So this year I'm just taking a role of being a leader and hopefully just challenging people to be at their best.
Excellent. So what do you, from the athlete's perspective, what do you attribute to this great start you guys are having this year?
Well, I'm kind of the eyes for the hitters. I allow them to see what's open. I help them when nothing's open, we're in holes, I can help them get out of it, and I'm just very aggressive. So I attribute, like, when we're down, I can bring us back up and be really pumpy.
Excellent. No, that's fantastic. So up next for you guys is Sunnyside.
That's right.
And
we actually, last year we went 5 with Sunnyside. They're a really good defensive team. They're scrappy. So we definitely can't look over them. They're going to be fired up to beat us this year, and we'll also be fired up to beat them.
so let's talk a little bit about, so you're a senior, going off to college next year. Have you, do you have college plans at this point, or are you still kind of figuring that out?
Well, I'm still figuring it out. I just have to kind of look at all the factors, like what's the best school for my major, for like my other hobbies too. Hopefully by December I'll know where I'm going, because I'm talking to a few schools, but I have to still apply and then see which path I'd rather take.
Yeah, no, I do know that some of the schools, there have been some college interest in you. Do you want to talk about who at this point, or is it still too early in the process?
Well, my number one choice would be Chapman in LA. But other than that, there's some other schools from out of state, but Chapman's my number one, so hopefully that works out.
You guys did pretty good last year, playoffs, right? You
Yeah, we lost in the semifinals.
You lost in the semis, right? So tell me about kind of this year. Is the expectation, I mean, with the team you have this year, Coach, do you think you guys expect to make some noise?
I mean, last year losing to Redwood in the semifinals. This year there's 2 teams that got bumped up to Division II or Division I, so we won't be seeing those same teams. I think we could potentially win Valley this year.
Excellent, great. So Coach, tell me, just in addition to Kylie, just tell me about a couple of the other girls you think this year that you're going to be looking to kind of leaning on to try to make a run.
We have a really strong setter. She's a junior this year. She is also getting looks at college. Her name's Grace Campbell. She plays all the way around. She's a hitter, she's a setter, really strong athlete. We also have 2 really good outside hitters, Fallon Carrion and Laura Kokorian. They're really consistent for us, really good players all the way around the court. So we've got a really strong lineup.
Great. One last question for you. In terms of kids that are coming up behind you, kind of looking up, wanting to get to where you are to be in this position as a senior, what some advice do you have for them?
My advice would be to always have a good mental attitude, because that's something that could really affect you. You need to worry about others before yourself, and worry about your team rather than yourself.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys both for stopping by. Good luck this coming week with Sunnyside, and we'll be following you guys.
Friday night's coming up, and if you don't have a date, don't despair. CVSR.TV has got you covered. Follow along on our show and get all the information about high school sports that you need to know.
I'm Derek Carr. You know, you're trying to get to college, make sure you check out Central Valley Sports Report.
Welcome back, Central Valley. Jason Phillips here, and we're talking football. The first few weeks are in the books, and every Friday just seems to keep getting more and more exciting. So I'm going to spend the next few minutes breaking down my top 10 rankings, my top 3 in each division, and also the stud running backs that you need to know about here in the Valley. So first off, we'll get started with my top 10 rankings. As you can see here on the screen, these are entering through week 3, the games that are coming up for September 19th. Number 1, I got Edison, the overall consensus number 1. They beat Bakersfield, who comes in number 2. And the interesting part I have here is Clovis North at number 3. And I have them there because I feel like if I match them up with any other team on the rest of this list, I feel like they just have the matchup advantage with the strong defense. If any other of these teams played Folsom, they'd probably be down 49-0 at half just as well. So the competition here in the Valley, Clovis North is still elite. Number 4, I got Ridgeview. This team is the real deal. They could compete in D1 with this roster. I like them there. 5, you got Liberty Baco. Tough defense, great running game. It's a winning formula. 6, El Diamante. Soft schedule, but still a good team. Clovis West, and then a couple West Yosemite League teams. This division is for real, folks. So that's my top 10 rankings. Now you can take a look at my top 3 in each division. It's pretty simple with Division 1 at the top in Edison, also Division 2 at Ridgeview. Division 3, I've got Hanford, Wasco, and Mission Oak. Wasco, they've got a great running back duo with Isaiah Sharp and Gabriel Cabazuela. And then the Mission Oak Panthers, close, but they lost to a good Dinuba team, real close, but Leandre Jefferson and Trey McJunkin, great wide receiver quarterback duo. This team is nice. Division 4, I've got CVC at the top. They are a load with senior running back McIntyre Garbani. They've got 3 lopsided wins, including one that shocked everyone over Bakersfield Christian, 49-19. And then Liberty Madera at number 2. Mike Nolte just runs a great program down there. Division 5, I got Fowler. The Red Cats, they've got a strong defense. And then Farmersville, number 2, you've got quarterback Sam Metcalf. He is the stud of D5. And then I like what Emmanuel's doing. They're off to an impressive start. Coach Matt Armstrong has these kids on the right track. In Division 6, Kennedy, number 1. I mean, first-year coach Dennis Moody has these kids doing the right things. They've outscored their first 3 opponents 136-7. So that's my top 3 rankings in each division. And folks, also on the CVSR website, I've posted a blog about the top running backs in the Central section. We have numerous skilled athletes who can and are going to play at the next level here in the Valley. Guys like Bolu Olaranfunmi from Clovis North. He's a 3-year starter and a UCLA commit. Also, Anthony Mariscal of Liberty Bakersfield, he's committed to Arizona. And junior Brandon Robinson out of Centennial High, being recruited by Northwestern, Boise State, and Fresno State. And there's also a kid out of Tulare Union, Romello Harris, human highlight reel. He's being heavily recruited by Fresno State and several other D1 schools. And then finally, Sheldon Croney from Ridgeview. This kid's ran for over 3,500 yards and 53 touchdowns the last 2 years. He's being looked at by Oregon State, Boise State, and several other Mountain West schools. There are several other kids that are on the blog, so be sure to check it out. You can find it on cvsrgo.com, and all the other kids that I talk about, you don't want to miss it. But coming up next, we've got Greg and Felix from G&2 Fitness. They give you tips on something that everybody wants, and that's rock hard abs. Check it out.
What up, everybody? Greg Johnson, G&2 Fit Corner. As you can see, I'm a little bit out of breath. So, we're gonna cover today core. Everyone thinks this is the main part of the core. Not true. Your core is working from the spine all the way through to the center, midline. So thoracic spine, completely all the way around. Comes towards the hips, almost to the very top of the neck. So you're working complete midsection. Without all this, we'd just be a bunch of arms and legs, a head bobbling around, not worth anything. So let's go over a couple misconceptions about the core. First thing is, all of you guys, I know everyone wants that six-pack. It's cool, it looks great, great for the beach, but if it has no functionality, no purpose, no point. So if you have that six pack and you get trucked over by that linebacker, didn't do you any good. So what we're gonna look at is what we can do exactly to get the core a whole lot stronger. So let's go over some basics. You athletes, everything we do is rotational. So when I'm talking about rotational, everything we do has some type of movement. Throwing a ball, rotational. So let's work on some rotational things from a playing position. Your playing position, this is the Bosu ball. You can do this on the Bosu ball to add some type of stability, or you can do it straight on the floor. We're gonna work on one arm over the side. We're just gonna go, it's gonna hold out. This rotation, we're gonna go, bring the elbow back, pulling through, bring it right back over. Squeeze out, right back down. Want to advance it somewhat, lift the leg up, squeeze out, back down. So from there, by me throwing the elbow back, I'm working all the way back in my spine, shooting the elbow over, completely over, and we're working the abs, back, a little bit of butt, legs, the entire body. You want to do the same thing, opposite side. So, without the ball, basics. Everyone likes watching TV. I do the same thing at my house, same time, all the time, every single day I got my shows. Commercials, you guys, in between, ladies, in between your commercials, your Real Housewives and all that other stuff. Hold your plank position. Try to get all the way through the entire time. Your plank, holding from the side. Don't let those hips sag down. Keep it straight. A board is a plank, so we're gonna be just like a board, straight all the way through. Your crunches. Go crunches are a great move. It's a great thing to do. Get you nice and ripped. It's not really working on functionality. So you can do crunches as a warm-up. You can do sit-ups as a warm-up. But let's work on some type of movement from that floor. Get you shredded, get you ripped. It's a couple things. We will be back giving you a few more little hints, little tips. So Greg Johnson, G2 Fit Corner, thanks.
When wildfire strikes, will you be ready? Extreme drought has caused tinder-dry conditions and increased wildfire activity across California. Plan ahead. Remember, ready, set, go. Be ready by maintaining 100 feet of defensible space around your home. Be set by having a wildfire action plan and knowing what important items to take if you are being evacuated. And lastly, go. Evacuate early when a wildfire strikes in your area. Be prepared for wildfire. Remember, ready, set, go. Learn more from CAL FIRE at readyforwildfire.org.
Not only does texting while driving significantly reduce your reaction time, but you are also 10% more likely to leave your lane. This commercial was 30 seconds. That's all it takes to avoid a senseless tragedy.
Jason Phillips with Central Valley Sports Report here. I'm here with Shannon Smith, head coach of the Clovis girls tennis team. We're here at their match against the Clovis North Broncos today. Shannon, can you please explain just a little bit to the viewers how the season's gone for you guys up to this point?
Well, our girls have done pretty well. We played tournament a couple weeks ago, got to the finals, lost to Alameda. But now we're in league, and our league is one of the strongest leagues around, the track. So it's every match is brutal, and we just have to fight really hard.
Now, Buchanan and Clovis West are the horses of the track. So how do you stay up with them? And tell us a little bit about the girls that you have on this team.
I have kind of a young team, but they fight hard, they work hard, they want to learn, they want to play. Going up against the big horses, it's just who's going to be there that day. You know, hopefully a couple of their guys are down mentally or physically, and then hopefully our guys are up. You know, it's a battle.
Now, who's your number one?
Peyton Morrison.
Peyton Morrison. What does she do well? Tell us about her.
She's a senior. She's played for us for only 2 years. Unfortunately, 2 years she had to sit out. She had a broken foot. And So she's really getting her fill this year. She's playing well. She's learning a lot, trying to keep up with these guys. So she's a little behind the 8 ball, but she'll come along.
Now, you were just telling me off camera a little bit earlier that you have a young team. So kind of tell us about the freshmen, the sophomores, and maybe are you a year or two away from competing with Buchanan and Clovis West?
I'd like to say that, but they always have the strong teams coming in. We don't have a lot coming into Clovis High, so we just do the best with what we have. Freshmen, we have great freshmen out here, and they're hard fighters. They're athletes. They're in other sports, so they know how to compete. Our sophomores, they competed last year. They're coming along strong. My juniors, I have a really good set of juniors, and then my seniors, they carry the team. So it's a good balance between all of them.
Now, that's what seniors do. They carry the team. Now, why is it that it's so tough to get tennis talent out when you're like, say, out of Buchanan and Clovis West? Is that just because there's no country clubs nearby? What is the deal with that?
Yeah, pretty much. The country clubs are on the other sides of town. Money. We're kind of an inner city school, so we don't have a lot of money coming in. Other than that, just getting the word out.
Well, Shannon, you're doing a great job with that. Shannon Smith, head coach of the Clovis Cougars. I'm Jason Phillips. I'm standing with Clovis High's #1 tennis stud, Peyton Morrison. Peyton, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good, thank you.
Now, you just got through playing Clovis North's #1, Elizabeth Schultz. Tell us a little bit about how your season's gone, this being your senior year, a little bit of the early season and how your team's doing as well.
My season's going pretty well. Our team is doing pretty well this year, too. For the California Classic tournament, we lost in the finals. Losing in the finals is still it was still like a good placement for us because we felt like we accomplished something. Even though we didn't make it to the finals, we still accomplished something.
So Buchanan and Clovis West, they've been the studs in track tennis. Now, this being your senior year, how have you done against them? Have you gotten any big wins over them, or have they kind of been the studs that they are?
Well, for Buchanan and both Clovis West, I lost in the third tiebreaker. So it's still good for me. For coming into this year, I just know I need to work on. But it really wasn't like a big loss for me.
Now, you had a little rough foot injury in your sophomore year. You kind of missed a little bit of it. How's your career been at Clovis?
It was actually an improvement. So being off my leg, I've been able to watch more professional tennis players. So I learned some things. So I wasn't just off, just vacationing.
Right on. Good way to use your time. Now, what's your aspirations for after high school? What do you want to do?
After high school, I want to go to college. I want to become a labor and delivery nurse. So the college I would like to go to is Baylor. I don't know. I just really like Baylor.
All right, the Baylor Bears. Do you want to play tennis in college?
Yeah, I do. I do want to play tennis in college. I want to continue to play.
Well, maybe us here at CVSR can help you do that. How are the grades looking?
Straight A's.
Straight A's? Well, there you go. Peyton Morrison, #1 at Clovis High.
That's our show. I hope you enjoyed it. The reason we do this is to provide exposure for the student athletes in the Central Valley. We need you to go online and create a free profile so that we can share it with the college coaches across the country. If you want to be recognized by colleges that have scholarships in your sport, CVSR is where you need to be. We're the only site dedicated to athletes right here in the Central Valley. If there are athletes at your school or you're an athlete that we should know about or be talking to, let us know. You can email us at info@cvsrgo.com. You can also find us on Facebook at Central Valley Sports Report or on Twitter at CV Sports Report. Make sure you set your DVRs for KAIL on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. and never miss a show. Until next time, see you later, Central Valley.